Are you facing a mountain of Medicare mail and 10 to 12 telemarketing calls about Medicare every day? If so, you are not alone, and we know that all that confusion and overwhelm certainly doesn't help you with how to choose the best Medicare plan for yourself. Hi there, if we haven't met yet, I'm Danielle Roberts, co-founder here at Boomer Benefits, where we provide free help to baby boomers who are turning 65 and trying to find the right coverage. In the 14 years that I've been working with Medicare insurance products, my team and I have helped thousands of people with figuring out their Medicare insurance options and selecting suitable coverage. In this video, I'll give you some of my top tips for finding the best Medicare plan for you. Stay with me until the end and I'll tell you where you can grab our free guide that discusses Medicare Advantage plans versus Medicare Supplements. There are two main ways that you can fill in the gaps in Medicare. These two choices are Medicare Supplements, which are also called Medigap plans, and Medicare Advantage plans, which are also called Part C plans. It's important to understand that these two types of coverage do not work together, so you will never have them both at the same time. You'll be choosing one or the other. Let's start by discussing Medigap plans, also called Medicare Supplements, same thing. Medigap plans pay after Medicare first pays its share. Your healthcare provider gives you treatment and then bills Medicare. Medicare processes the bill from your healthcare provider, and if it approves the service, it pays what it's supposed to. It then sends the remainder of the charges onto your Medigap plan to pay its share. It's important to understand here that Medicare always decides if the claim is paid. If Medicare approves the bill, your Medigap plan must also pay its share of your deductibles, copays, and coinsurance. Here are some features that our clients often tell us that they like about Medigap plans. First, Medigap plans allow you to see any provider that accepts Medicare. Doesn't matter if your insurance company you buy your Medigap plan from is one or the other. If the doctor accepts Medicare, he will also accept your supplement. Second, all new Medicare beneficiaries are given a one-time 6-month open enrollment window to enroll in any Medigap plan offered in their area with no health questions asked. If you apply during this window, your acceptance is guaranteed. Be sure to check our separate video on your one-time Medigap open enrollment window. Third, you do not have to choose a primary care provider if you have a Medigap plan. There's no referrals necessary in order to see a specialist either. This type of plan gives you the most freedom of access when it comes to providers. Fourth, Medigap plans are standardized, making them so easy to compare. For example, in 2019, the most comprehensive plan you can buy is Plan F. A Plan F from one insurance company has exactly the same benefits as Plan F from another insurance company. This means that you can shop based on price, and here at Boomer Benefits, we also like to look at the rate increase histories for each carrier to help our clients choose wisely. Medigap plans have higher premiums up front than Medicare Advantage plans, but the copays on the back end are very predictable. For example, if you enroll in Plan F, you have zero copays on the back end whatsoever, nothing out of pocket other than your monthly premium on Part A and B services. In my experience, Medigap plans work very well for people who travel within the U.S. as well, because they can see providers who accept Medicare in any state. These plans also work well for people who don't like the hassle of networks. I've also seen them bring great peace of mind to someone who is entering Medicare with a chronic health condition. If you're a person with high medical usage and you feel worried about what kinds of copays you will encounter once you're on Medicare, you can purchase a Medigap plan with pretty full coverage like a Plan F or G, and you'll know that you will have very little out of pocket later on. Now, be aware that Medigap plans do not include drug coverage because these plans were created in the 60s before Medicare Part D was around. However, it's easy to pick up an inexpensive Part D drug plan to go alongside your original Medicare and your Medigap plan. Now let's take a look at the second type of coverage, which is Medicare Advantage. These plans were introduced in the late 90s as part of the Balanced Budget Act. They are a form of coverage that you can enroll in to get your benefits from a private insurance company instead of from original Medicare. Advantage plans cover the same services as original Medicare, but your cost sharing for each service will be different because it's set by the plan instead of by Medicare. About 1/3 of current Medicare beneficiaries are currently enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan. Here are some features that are common to Medicare Advantage plans. First, most plans have a network of providers in your local area. Medicare HMO plans seem to have the highest enrollment numbers, and in these plans, you will usually only have coverage within the network. There's no coverage outside the network except in emergencies. Some HMO plans may also require you to choose a primary care provider, and you may have to get a referral from them in order to see a specialist. Medicare PPO plans have a bit more flexibility. In these plans, you can treat outside the network, usually at a higher cost, and if the out-of-network provider is willing to bill the plan. Second, you can purchase a Medicare Advantage plan that has a built-in Part D drug plan. This allows you to get your Medicare Part A, B, and D services from the same insurance company using one ID card for all three services. Third, premiums for Medicare Advantage plans are often lower than Medigap plans. In some areas, you can find Medicare Advantage plans that have what we call a zero premium. This means that the plan does not charge you anything to be a member. You must still, however, be enrolled in both Medicare Parts A and B, and you'll continue paying for Part B throughout your life, but you won't have any additional premium for the Advantage plan on top of that. This does not mean the insurance is free. The insurance plan is paid by Medicare to take on your risk, so it is simply setting a very low premium to attract you to enroll in the plan so that it can collect a paycheck from Medicare. Fourth, Medicare Advantage plans are allowed to offer you ancillary benefits. This means they could have some basic dental, vision, or hearing services included. Some plans offer discounted gym memberships as well. Recent legislation will also allow some Advantage plans to include things like home modifications for mobility and transportation to and from doctor appointments. It doesn't mean that all plans will offer these things, but they will at least be allowed if they so desire. Fifth, Medicare Advantage plans can and do change their benefits from year to year. Much of this depends on how much Uncle Sam is giving them each year to fund these plans. And so you may see some years where your costs go up and others where your costs go down. This means you have to be a person who's willing to review the coverage changes every fall and decide whether you wish to keep your current plan or change to another Medicare Advantage plan the next year. Be aware that if you enroll in a plan because you like the free gym membership, it's entirely possible that the plan could drop the gym membership the following year. That is actually happening this year with a major carrier. So my advice is always to choose the plan that covers the health events that are most important to you and consider the rest to be gravy. Do you want a plan that will offer great coverage for a heart attack or stroke or cancer? Or do you want a plan that offers a great gym membership? I think you see my point. It's not that one type of coverage is better than the other, it's that they are different and you need to thoroughly review all the benefits of each plan type before you decide on what's right for you. Now, considering how differently these two types of coverage operate, how can you choose the best Medicare plan for you? Here are some of my tips for discovering the type of coverage that fits you best. 1. Consider your budget. Sometimes we meet people who live on Social Security income alone, and the cost of a Medigap plan is simply not possible for them. Medicare Advantage plans can be a great option for people with limited incomes. 2. Consider your medical usage. Since Medicare plans often require copays when you see a specialist, you'll want to think about this carefully if you see a specialist twice a month. Will the copays that you shell out negate any of the premium savings you're achieving? 3. Ask your providers. Speak with your doctors and hospitals and find out what plans are accepted there. Most doctors' offices accept Original Medicare, so you'll know that you can use any Medigap plan if your doctor accepts Medicare. However, he or she may or may not participate in Medicare Advantage plans in your area. So if you have several important providers, it's important to make sure all of them are in the network for any Medicare Advantage plan that you may be considering before you enroll in that plan. Next, access to providers. Many of our clients who enjoy Medigap policies like the freedom of access of those plans. If hassling with the network will set your hair on fire, then you may like the flexibility that Medigap plans offer. Convenience. Some of our clients who enroll in Medicare Advantage plans tell us they like the convenience of having one member ID card that they use for both medical and drug benefits. Peace of mind. You need to ask yourself which coverage helps you sleep at night. If you're the type who will worry during a hospital stay over what types of bills you'll get when you get home, then a Medigap plan can help to eliminate that kind of worry. On the other hand, if you're the type of person who will worry over that Medigap premium you have to pay every month, then perhaps you'd like an Advantage plan better, where you can simply pay for services as you go along. Back-end costs. Medigap plans have very limited and predictable back-end costs. Medicare Advantage plans, on the other hand, will be different every year. You'll likely spend more in years where you have higher medical usage. Check the plan's out-of-pocket maximum limit and make sure you have enough set aside to cover those costs if a year comes along where you have a lot of medical spending. You should also carefully check an Advantage plan's drug formulary before you enroll. If you miss the fact that your plan doesn't cover one of your important brand name drugs, this can create back-end spending out of pocket that you didn't anticipate. Travel. Medigap plans can be used anywhere in the United States. This means they work great for snowbirds or people who like to visit their grandchildren. Some Medigap plans also offer up to $50,000 in foreign travel emergency coverage. Advantage plans have worldwide emergency coverage. Final thoughts. One last thing I'd like you to think about is that most people only get one 6-month window to get a Medigap plan with no health questions asked. If you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan and then later on you wish to return to original Medicare and buy a Medigap plan instead, you will likely have to answer health questions at that point, and you could be turned down for coverage. So just be aware that enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan may mean that you could lose your opportunity to ever get back to Medigap coverage again. The Medicare open enrollment period that occurs in the fall is a time when you can change your drug plan or your Medicare Advantage plan, but it does not give you a free pass into a Medigap plan with no health questions asked. Many people get this wrong. We tell all of our clients here at Boomer Benefits about this because we want them to understand that if they enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan for a few years, it's not always that easy to get back into a Medigap plan later. So there you have it. If you'd like help deciding which type of plan makes the most sense for you, give us a call and we'll walk you through the options in your state. Or maybe you have a question about one of these types of coverage that we can answer for you right here on YouTube. Just drop it in the comments below and we'll respond with some answers to help you out. You can also grab your copy of our free guide about Medicare Advantage plans versus Medicare Supplements for some takeaway reading. I'll drop the link in the notes below this video. Lastly, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, hit the red button below so that you'll always be notified when we upload a new video to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.